Hey, what's up YouTube? So here we are, we're in the garage and I'm going to take you on a tour of my workshop about 2 years after I started building it, something like that, maybe a bit less than 2 years. Anyway, it's been a while and it's definitely time for a tour of the workshop. But before we step inside, let's have a look at how it started off. So next to the garage is this section of the basement. Mostly we use this for storage. Got a big rack here where I store my lumber. Shelves on the other side, storing all sorts of stuff over there. As you can see, we've got a few bikes down here. This here is under the front entrance porch to the house. And then this is, I guess, the front facing wall. Over here we've got some more bikes. A bunch of other junk I need to get rid of. We've got some insulation material in the corner. All this stuff's got to go because our next project is getting rid of all this dirt where the road cone is piled and below the rack. And we're going to be building a new foundation inside this area. So, without further ado, the workshop tour. So clearly the first thing you notice once you step through the door is my magnificent table saw. Saw stop, 3 horsepower, 220 volts. And on the back here is my custom outfeed table. This is made from 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood which have been glued together. Down here in this space is where I'm going to put my scrap bin. Right now it's full of trash. And then over here in the corner is the dust extractor. This is what it looks like in its resting position. Let's see this tool in motion. So this is our table saw. We've got a pretty cool remote control for the dust collector. So I just have to flick this on. We have it, 2 straight pieces of wood. So that was the cabinet saw. Let's see what else we've got. Over in this corner is the DeWalt miter saw. I've actually honed this tool for almost 15 years. It's still going strong. I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th blade at this point. It's not really part of the workshop, but over in this corner is where the sump pump is located. It's actually running, or it was running a minute. Running at the moment actually. This goes up through the wall here into the garage and then out to the front. This is the hole it used to go through. I'm going to fill that in when we get around to it. And then this is my generator. A couple of weeks ago when it first started raining, the power was off, so I was running my sump pump off of the generator. You're not really supposed to run it indoors, but what can you do? Okay, so moving on, just here beyond the dust extractor is the bandsaw. Let's see the bandsaw in action. Okay, so this is the bandsaw. This just works the same way with the remote control for the dust extractor, so I'll turn that on first. Then you turn on the bandsaw. Okay, so that was the bandsaw. Just beyond the bandsaw you can see these concrete stairs, some kind of just below my wood rack. There's my wood rack up here. top shelf up there. The stairs make it a lot easier to climb up there, or you have to be careful because of this structural beam that goes across, but there's enough space to get in here and get the things out of the wood rack. And then over here, behind the dust extractor, is another wood rack that goes back quite a long way. It goes back, I think, about 15 feet. I only have really crappy material in there, but one of the things I did actually is I marked on these pieces of wood how long they are. So if I do need to get something out, I don't have to pull them all out and figure out which one I need. And then on this side, this is just a dumping ground for crap that we don't have anywhere else to store. Going through here, water heater is to the left. And then over here, we have the 8-inch jointer. Let's see the jointer in action. Okay, so the jointer, this one we don't have connected to the dust extractor at the moment. That will be the next phase of the workshop. This one plugs in here. And then to use it, if you're using a long piece of wood, you need to wheel it out from against the wall. You've got plenty of space. And then let's show you how this works. Lovely smooth edge. That's perpendicular to this one. Okay, so that was the jointer, and then just beyond the jointer, this is my paint booth. Haven't used this too much recently, but this is where we keep it. This is where it is. And behind this filter is an extractor fan which goes to the exterior of the house. That's really the only reason why that is where it is. And then it has a piece of plexiglass in the top of the box which helps let in the light. And then just here I've got my metalwork vise and my grinding wheels. At the moment I've got a grinding wheel on one and a wire brush on the other. So when I want to use the polishing disc, I have to change that over. In the future I might end up getting another one of these so that I can have these discs set up and polishing discs set up at the same time. Next to the vise is my drill press, or pillar drill if you'd like to call it that. This is a nice one actually. This is a Shopfox model, pretty nice. I bought this new from Amazon. This is a breadboard. Just next to that is my compressor. This is pretty new actually. I'm using this for all my air tools. This is next to my workbench. This is basically the area I spend most of my time when I'm actually in here, which isn't as often as I'd like. My woodworking vise here, my drawers. At the moment, these are not particularly well laid out. This one is alright, but I'm going to make some dividers for my drawers in the future. Try and organise this stuff a little bit better. This is my hardware on this side. These are all labelled, but basically it's like other backup tools that I don't use very much, and hardware. And then in this cabinet I got glues and finishes and all that stuff. And on this side I have nails and electrical components, things like that. In the middle of my shop here I got my assembly table. This table's on casters, so it rolls around the shop. And I tend to just use this for wherever I need at the moment. But the last thing I was using on here was my belt sander. I also have my Kreg jig underneath here, and then this is the planer, which I haven't actually used this yet. When we do, the idea is it'll just go on top of this table and it can go back down here when it's not being used. And then in the centre of the shop here, I got my shelves, parts drawers, more screws, drill bits, spare drill bits, other stuff like that, just general storage. All my sanding stuff is on this side. I got a couple of belt sanders now, one I use and one that's pretty crap. And then on this side is the sink. I put this sink in about 4 years ago. There was a 2-bowl sink here before. This is one of the most useful things in my workshop, actually, having a sink that you can use all the time and don't have to worry too much about keeping it clean. And then this is the other door which leads back into the house. And next to that is the furnace and water heater. And then if we walk back this way, we can head back towards the garage and the other equipment. So, one last look at the table saw. Hope you enjoyed my workshop tour. Like, subscribe, send me money, and have a great day.